Welcome to Captive Conversations. I am your host, Adam from Captive Wi-Fi. Join us as we dive into behind-the-scenes stories of hospitality leaders, exploring tech, operations, marketing through the eyes of the experts. Let's get the inside scoop together. Episode 6. I'm nearly at 10. I'm on the other side of 5. I hope you've all enjoyed it so far. We've got some awesome new and more people coming on. This episode was with Jonah from Blend. Their platform is ridiculously amazing. I've seen some of it in action. I don't know if you guys have seen it on social, but we listened to and talked to Jonah about his route into hospitality tech, his history, where he started, the investment journey, Antler, and his cohort, how he met his co-founders. Is such an interesting story. Some great nuggets of genius in here as well. Some really interesting news or notes on Blend and how the platform works and how it's revolutionizing the training for Deskless workers, helping with more Gen Z training in the workforce. I think training is a massive part of every industry, but specifically hospitality. I hope you have a good listen. Please like and subscribe. And this is episode 6. Hi everyone, hello. People who are looking at the video, I do forget that people don't watch the video and they only listen, so wave to everyone that you can hear.
Virtual wave and
nice.
looking wave.
So this is Jonah from Blend. Do we say we are Blend or Blend or?
We are Blend, just a website name. It's Jonah from Blend.
Jonah from Blend.
Blend.ai, however you want to cut it.
The AI.
Yeah.
The AI.
Got to have the AI in there.
Of course. Jonah from Blend. We've been speaking quite a bit actually, which is funny. And we've been trying to arrange a meeting and you've been really busy. And then you've been going on like funding stuff. And then I've been doing stuff. And I said, and then I did the pod and you were like, okay. So this is the first time you've actually come to my office. I haven't even met for coffee.
Last time I saw you, Hospitality Titans.
Yes.
Looked across the room.
There he is.
And there was you swinging that wine around, doing your wine tasting.
I did some good content with the guy from Antler and Co. And I went at the end and he said to me that his boss gave him like a hug. Because no one really knows about because they're hidden, right? The venues know them.
He was a brilliant presenter, that guy.
He was.
From just to say, you can't have a hospitality event without Adam Foreman. So.
Well, and Titans and Tech on Toast and all the rest. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so traditionally what we normally do is a bit of music. So I will do it afterwards on the intro, but I like to people who do watch that we can bop along. I'm a bit old, so I'm going to bop along. So I'm going to do this. Hopefully you can all hear it. Can you hear that? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all you get.
So is that the dad dancing section?
That is the dad dancing section.
Probably good time to segue that my wife's expecting. So.
Oh, congratulations. Oh, when? Oh, you've got...
Later in the year, yeah.
Oh, this year?
So I will be officially dad dancing.
Sorry. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you dad dance at the moment?
I do. So now I've got a legitimate reason to dad dance a dad joke.
Sorted.
So I'm sorted.
Okay, on with the show. Episode 6, which is exciting. They say that when people hit 10, they stop. So I'm hoping not to stop at 10. And so I'm trying to continue this on. So we had Kitty Newman from Trapeze Media on previously. Hello, Kitty, who can see and wave. You can give a little wave to the camera.
Hey, Kitty, how's it going?
And she had some questions. Her question was, this is really good for you, actually, to be fair. What is your favourite account on a social media platform? What draws you in and keeps you scrolling?
Brilliant. So, yeah, great question, Kitty, and very relevant to what we do. So, as you know, we're Blend TikTok for workplace training. So, TikTok is a big thing for us.
Keep that mic there.
So,
it's not very powerful mic.
It's not very powerful mic. So, I would say the best TikTok account we follow is Fallow, and Fowl's TikTok account. It is bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
They're doing exactly what we want our customers to do.
Yeah.
You've got chefs who are essentially influencers who are teaching you how to make their recipes, but they're doing it in a really fun and dynamic way, wearing GoPros.
Yeah.
It's really cool content. And yeah, you could just get lost in that.
I was literally an hour ago on the Vic Sales marketing group on WhatsApp. People were literally asking, what restaurant do you guys suggest for? And everyone was literally going all crazy about Fallow.
They've got 7 million viewers on how to make chicken pie videos. I mean,
wish I could do that. Good revenue stream, I guess, if they've got 7 million.
Great revenue stream, yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay, number 2. the best campaign you've been part of that's made the most difference / impact for a brand that you've worked with?
So I was trying to understand what that question exactly meant.
It's a bit of a tricky one, but it's moreover, have you worked on a specific project for a client that made a good impact? I mean, to be fair, everything you're doing for the product does that, but you're sort of learning more because you've got more newer clients. So the stuff that you're putting in, which we'll talk about later, isn't either they haven't got it or they've got something different and is affecting it different ways. So it's probably everything.
Employee-generated video training content. It's a mouthful of a word. We're calling it EGC, employee-generated content.
I like that.
This is where we're making the impact. We're showing our customers how to harness the power of short-form video and how to turn their training into short-form video, which they don't get a production company to create. Their employees make it.
I feel like Kitty had a conversation with you before she asked the question.
She probably heard. So our big thing, and that is where we're seeing the impact, is when we start seeing our customers who, at the beginning, were self-confessed, they didn't know how to harness the power of video.
You got to stop. I'm so sorry. We will get to.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to it.
Right.
But this is storytelling. So we can tell the story about Blend, how it started, the challenges, and what it can do in a bit. I want to tease everyone into it. So we have a.
Well, if you want a best campaign, then non-hospitality related, I used to do the adverts for Andrex.
No.
So, and this is how I met my wife. My Bumble photo was me holding an Andrex puppy. So, in terms of making an impact for brands, selling toilet paper with cute puppies, that's the way to go.
I'll tell you a story about Andrex later. I can't do it. It's not one of those weird stories, but it's an interesting story about them and Costco.
Nice.
So, but I'll digress. Okay, so people who aren't watching, I did it with Kitty and with Scott. Kitty, I let her try a Tim Tam.
Yes.
But I didn't have the penguin, so we couldn't do it. So this is, hold on, for the video people. For the non-video people, I have caramel. Sorry, this is caramel. This is chocolate. And then I have a penguin that's fully wrapped. So I would like you, if possible, you have water.
Yes.
And if you want to put it on the table, I know that you controlled environment, you can. Try a Tim Tam. Here's a kitchen one for you. Please try a Tim Tam.
But I don't know which is the Tim Tam and
so
which is the penguin.
These are both Tim Tams, and these are penguins.
So it's not a blind taste test?
I couldn't do blind tasting.
Okay.
I'm not there yet.
You would have if you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, well, you could have had either of them. You wanted. They're both great. So you can blatantly tell what a penguin is. Okay, fine. Grab one of the. This is caramel. I haven't got salted caramel. Apparently, that's amazing.
Tim Tam penguin.
Tim Tam penguin. Which one do you prefer? So take a bite. Grab it. You can tell me what you think. You got to get a bit of ASMR in there with the crunch.
What do you call it? ASMR?
ASMR.
ASMR.
Yes.
Jonah eating a Tim Tam. Yep.
Okay. And there's the penguin. But I mean, I'm assuming you've had penguins before, right?
Oh, penguins, yeah.
Okay, cool. So this is.
You want me to open it as well?
I'll tell you. I'll hold that,
more,
and then we
more
can do
great
the
sound effects, right?
Yeah. Here we go.
Do you want me to read the joke?
Oh yes.
How does a penguin make pancakes? With its flippers. So already extra points for the joke, the dad joke.
Yes. It looks similar. It's a bit bigger.
Visually, very similar.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is fair.
Go on.
This is a plain penguin. That's a caramel Tim Tam.
They don't do. Do they do caramel penguins?
I don't know.
They don't do it. That's just a normal. That's a normal normal Tim Tam. But
penguin gets my vote.
Okay.
1-0 to the UK.
Yeah, so I think we're 3-1 so far. So on my role of trying to get this done, I think we'll end up with an interesting count. I think I'll end up putting lines on the board. All right, I'm going to put my iPad in that mode. Bear with me. Okay, so thank you for that. I'm going to move it out the way. Feel free to drink some water.
Now. Yeah.
Yes.
Caramelly voice.
Was it good?
It was good, yeah.
What the Australians
Why do people not like penguins then? Why has it got so underestimated?
They're different. I think the Tim Tams have 2 layers of crunch, and the penguin's got 1.
1 layer of crunch. Okay.
So I don't know.
Can you do that trick with Tim Tams so you can
the
drink
corners?
Yeah, the corners and drink the whole.
That's the thing. But I think you can do it with penguins. Anyway, I digress. We're going to go on.
That should be
forever.
your next. That's my next question for the next person.
Yes.
Can they drink
live on video, making a mess? How Adam got burned with a cup of tea. Okay. So we normally do some questions at the front. I'm changing it around a bit because it gets on a bit too long, so we're going to do it at the end. So the quick questions that we have is best hospitality experience. That could be anything in hospitality, from hotels, restaurants, and so on. What's your best hospitality experience?
So I can go with the recency one on this one. Just got back from my honeymoon, and we were in Mexico City, and I went to Pujol.
Say again?
Pujol.
Okay.
Sounds like the Spanish centre back for Barcelona. Pujol. Unbelievable. Michelin star restaurant, 10-course meal.
Wow. This is a restaurant, not in a hotel, right?
It's a restaurant.
Yeah.
Fantastic. They've got this dish called a mole, which is the Mexican sauce. This one was 7 years old and had over 27 different ingredients in it. It was incredible. So yeah, best hotel experience. Shout out to Pujol.
Okay. And you had 10 courses?
10 courses, yeah.
Wow. They're small, or were they
small? So you left
not over full,
which is the perfect way to go.
Yeah, I'll add that into the show notes. I won't say the name of it, but
and also it's great when you've got the theatre of service as well. So each dish has its own presentation, its own story.
Did they come out and sort of like proper
presentation, matched with sake as well, and that was a cool bit. So sake pairing with each course.
So it was Japanese fusion?
Mexican influence, yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay. So if you're in Mexico City, you need to go there.
Okay.
Start saving.
I think I have 2 kids, and they're 14. Well, she's just turned 14 this week. Happy birthday. My eldest is 16, so Mexico would more likely be the all-inclusive sort of places. So unless when they're older, they go.
You drop them off at the all-inclusive, and then you and your wife hop to.
The problem is they like the food.
They like the food. Okay.
Yeah, they're very happy have a 10-course meal. Okay, this is no self-noms. Best piece of tech, hospitality tech.
I'm going to give a shout out to my man Harpreet, Peckish.
Yes.
I think it's a fantastic piece of tech. Similar stage to us, early stage startup. However, automating the back end for inventory stocks in restaurants through computer vision. Can't get better than that.
I have to say, I've spoken to him a bit as well. And Chris has talked about him on his podcast. And I've spoken to my clients about it. And we can swear on this podcast. They're like, no fucking way.
Yep.
It's not fucking possible.
I know.
And I'm like, it is. And I spoke to him about it. I think he's got something like 400 different types of eggs, 200 different types of steak. And I said to him, what happens when someone comes in and there's a delivery guy and he comes in and just drops it off? Do we just video the boxes? He goes, yeah. I was like, that's just crazy.
It's super smart. It's automating part of the process, which is just so time consuming.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to him and what they're building.
And he's plugged into Toast.
And he's plugged into Toast, which helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, everyone else is trying to plug into Toast.
Toast, come, send us some customers.
I think they like a bit of AI. So okay, I'll give you that. I will put him in the show notes as well. Do you want to shout out his website? Do you know his website?
I have no idea what it is. iampeckish.ai. I've just made that up.
Okay.
But if it is
I'll
that
put
domain,
it in the show notes. Okay, so now this is on to you, which is interesting. So again, it's hospitality tech, but it's more about your route into the industry, your story. I've put in here from film to tech, and I'll let you tell people about that one. How you got how it happened, how you fell into it as well, because it's there's obviously good similarities with what you did before to what is now, and hopefully you're not being a control freak when the restaurants are filming themselves with a ruler going, no, you did it wrong. But anyway, let's start. Let's go back. So
let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah,
where it all began.
Yeah.
So, for me, my career began in advertising. Mm-hmm. So, I joined an agency called J. Walter Thompson, JWT, in 2014. I was put on the account for Shell and Andrex. So, I was selling petrol and puppy-based toilet paper.
So, you stole a puppy?
Sold their puppies. And I joined it at a really interesting time in Adland because businesses were going from high-budget TV production spend and moving into always-on content marketing. So I saw an opportunity, and we helped create a production company within the agency. So we became the always-on content partners for HSBC, Shell, Microsoft, Nestle, and some really exciting companies. So I was a producer. I was leading their content. And something called COVID came along, lockdown, and we could no longer send production units to shoots.
Yeah.
So along went all the sort of the cameramen, the directors, and we had to really pare things back and think about things differently. So we turned into user-generated content. So we started giving our clients briefs of how to film the commercials themselves.
That must have been fun.
Following our instructions, yes, it was. And we realized really quickly it is very easy to create rubbish content. But if you follow a formula, it is also really easy to create good and effective content, as long as it's filmed and following the sort of the template structure that we set. Then realize, hey, there's an amazing application for this. What if we use these same techniques, people creating their own content, creating content in a much more effective manner for training and for learning? Enter the realization that I'm not a solo founder. I couldn't do this alone. Yes, I had the gumption to leave my job to go and start this, but I needed a team, needed people to go on this journey with me. I discovered Antler VC. It's a tech accelerator. They position themselves as the world's leading day zero investor.
Okay.
And how it works is they bring together 60 to 70 founders per cohort. And they essentially give you 3 months to meet your co-founder.
Oh my God.
Develop your business concept and then pitch it to the IC for investment.
Okay.
I like to describe it as where Love Island meets Dragon's Den.
Yeah.
So I had 3 months and I met my 2 co-founders there. I was very fortunate. Jules and Helen, massive shout out to the power brains behind Blend. Jules' background, operations. She worked at Uber Eats in Australia, so she'll be a Tim Tam fan.
I'll give you one to give to take.
Then she was at Catapult in their impact investment fund in Norway. And then most recently, she was at Coca-Cola here in the UK. But on the side, she's got a charitable trust called the DD Movement, helping young girls get access to education.
Oh, wow.
So she was very passionate about training the next generation.
Yeah.
And then our third co-founder, Helen, who's from Kyiv in Ukraine. She is a previous VC-backed founder, previously built a business called Green Bin, which helps educate businesses on better sustainability training. And that was live in Warsaw. She then came to the UK, wanted to start something else, but was also really passionate about how can we integrate non-native English speakers better into the workforce. So, hey, we were all unified on a really similar topic here. And that's how Blend was born, and that's how Blend was created. And the fun fact...
that concept of the idea was in your mind, or you sat down together going, we need to build, what should we build?
The concept was in our mind in different forms.
Yeah.
So we amalgamated it together into the way that we all truly believed in. We all had an identity over it that we possessed. And then we went out and we tested it with different industries, with different customers to really understand what is the pain point we're looking to solve with this solution and how we're going to bring this to life.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's the ultimate outsider into tech story. And that's why...
The birth, isn't it? The birth of the product.
It's the birth of the product. That's why we're really passionate around you don't need to be a tech native to start a tech business. That's a myth that we'd love to debunk.
Yeah.
Because ultimately it's all around people with great ideas coming together to form a solution in a collaborative manner.
But then did Antler give you the tools and ability behind it? Obviously you had the co-founders you have, the benefit of their experience of previous founder and so on. So did the cohort, did the Antler opportunity give you did they support you as well? So they were like, this is, you need to build the pack, you need to build the investment report, blah blah blah.
So the great thing about Antler is they help you hone in what is a VC backable solution, and do you have the team to bring that idea to life, and they evaluate on it. Each week you pitch to a mock investment committee, you get a rating.
Oh, so they give you feedback. Nice.
Green, amber, red.
Oh, God.
Amber means you're onto something, keep going. Red means it's not working, something's not right. Perhaps you guys need to break up, form a new team, and develop a new concept. And green means we like this, you're ready to pitch to the investment committee for real.
Wow.
We got green in our final week, and we got the investment from Antler, and that's how we got the funding.
That's amazing. How we started. That's really nice to think about nurturing, putting you together. That's like a little dream story, to be fair.
It's the ultimate dream story. It's all around these kind of accelerators which are cropping up to give you the opportunity to test that idea that you've been sitting on, putting it out, putting it in front of customers, but then most importantly, meeting the right co-founders if you know you're not on a solo founder journey,
Yeah.
to take you through that process and bring it to life.
I said to Chris when he did service this year, he's doing another one next year. And I said, wouldn't it be cool if you can get them to sign a waiver, of course, so that he owns the IP. But there's so many really cool things that you can do in tech, and there's so many people in that event that know that want to do something, but they're terrified it's to cost them hundreds of thousands of pounds, blah blah blah. I said he should have a little panel with people coming up going.
I've said this to Chris before.
Yeah.
I'll say it to Chris again. He needs to do Tech on Toast, Dragon's Den.
Yeah.
Where you get a series of hospitality entrepreneurs to pitch their concept.
Yeah.
And then between the big sort of tech businesses within the group, they help fund that incubator money to get it going.
And they get lifetime subscription.
Free membership.
Yeah, free, absolutely.
Free Tim Tams for life.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, there isn't enough. There could be so much better stuff out there.
And if you need, then host that Dragon's Den style pitch accelerator. You and I can get up there.
Wow, yeah. I haven't got any money to invest, but I'll definitely sit there and say yes. But yeah, I think that's a really good idea. To be fair, I think realistically, you don't need. I'm building stuff, right? So we have that product there, and a new one that we're building. You don't need millions of pounds, right? You don't need it to get the basics going. It's not a huge amount of investment.
The great thing about Antler and what they taught us as a philosophy to starting business is it doesn't start with solution. It starts with a problem.
Yeah.
And you've got to work out what is that problem and then start to understand through your customer interviews, through your interrogation, what is the best way to potentially solve that problem.
Yeah.
So it always starts with the problem, not the solution.
I don't like the word problems. It's been burnt into my head by someone that the problem isn't something you can resolve, but an issue is an unresolved opportunity. So issues can be fixed. Problems are a really challenging. Again, another word, challenging. So I quite like issues. If you find the issues with something, then you can find the solution. That's
but
my
for
bag.
me, it is a problem if it is broken enough that it needs true disruption to go and solve it.
Okay.
Whereas issue could be more an incremental way to fix that.
Yes. Okay.
Whereas a problem, it needs true innovation to disrupt it.
You're making me shiver. I can't say the word problem. We're in tech, we're in IT as well, right? So we can't say the word problem to a customer; they'll freak out.
Yeah.
So definitely on my side, but yes, I get what you're saying. Okay, so my mind's a bit blown. This is amazing.
So we're in Adland.
Yeah. No, I get where we are.
Video production, TikTok for workplace training, meet the two co-founders. Shall I start about our issue that we want to identify?
Yes. You can tell. You can say you're allowed to say problem. I will allow
the P
this
word.
episode. You can say the P word. Go on.
Which P word can I say?
Plonker.
Plonker. I like plonker.
Let's roll back. So Antler done, met two of them, rolled out, had a chat with. Did you do demos with? Did you take it to not to market, but did you like experiment and speaking to people and go through the whole process, and then it was green.
Yes, so as part of our final IC presentation, we had to show traction through customers.
Yeah.
So we had.
So why hospitality? Because there's so many. I mean, hospitality is a massive need for it, but there's so many different verticals for it.
Why now?
Yeah.
Absolute reason. So firstly, we all began our careers in hospitality. So I was at Gales alongside my studies.
Okay.
Industry I knew well.
Yeah.
Jules did a time in Australia in hospitality, and Helen has been in hospitality in Ukraine.
Yeah.
So we've all had that sort of basis. We love it as a career because we say it taught us a number of the key skills we use today.
Yeah.
How to look someone in the eye, how to talk to people, how to present. That comes from our hospitality training.
Yeah.
And we always retain that. So we hold it as a career sort of.
I will say something that I said this is the last podcast. My nephew did a stint in a pub near where he lives, and he now works for Sky News, doing really well. But without, I think, that grounding of actually having to deal with difficult people, drunk people too, having to deal with people on a daily basis, speaking to them face to face, because you have to have eye contact in hospitality. I think it changes the aspect of how I used to do events, right? So I was always speaking to people. I think it changes the aspect of how you deal with general people on a daily basis.
Hospitality is a rite of passage to teach you those essential people skills that you will use throughout your life. So it doesn't matter if you don't progress your career in hospitality, you will use those skills for the rest of your life.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I'm a big believer. Okay, so then on to investment, and then What, crapping your pants because you've got to get someone to build it?
So, where do you want to start? Andrex?
Yeah, I mean, from the what was the next step? So, okay, so you got the green light.
I'll tell you the process. Yeah. So, we presented. It was a presentation. Google Slides. From that, we got the investment from Antler. That was our sort of kick-off money to give us the runway.
So, was that you finding out how much you think you need to start getting the base of it?
Their terms.
Yeah.
So they tell it's all part of the contract. So you do the accelerator. So we went on their terms. We were given that funding. Yeah. And that was our runway to go out, validate this, test this before we unlock that next stage, which would be our next fundraise. Mm-hmm. So we had a secret power. Our secret power was Helen, our CPO, who is a native Bubble no-code developer, which meant shut the front door. Yeah. It is the ultimate skill in an early stage startup. Because
I have to say, someone was one of my web developers, because I've mentioned you today. He wants me to introduce you, which I will do. He was like, "Oh, it's built in Bubble." And I was like, literally the first thing he said when he saw your website. But go on, sorry, yes, no code.
I'll go one step before that. It was built on Figma to begin with. Yeah, because those Figma designs are what we use to take to customer interviews to test. Is this what will help? Will this save time? Will this be what we need? So it actually began with Figma. Yeah. And then
you can make everything in Figma. It could be a real pretend website or training platform inside Figma, because you can do whatever you like with it, right?
The term MVP, MVP could be anything. MVP could just be the Figma that allows you to validate what you need to build. So for us, we had validated it through Figma, and then Helen went out and built.
Was she a Figma person as well?
She was also a Figma person. Man. Honestly, had it all. So lucky.
Did she have a T-shirt saying "No coder, designer, developer"?
Her T-shirt said, "I am the Tim Tam of all CPOs." So chief penguin officer. So we, from Figma, having validated that with customers, we then built it in no code in Bubble. It meant we could start testing some very basic early features. We had to validate two key assumptions. Were businesses ready to go video first for their training? And were businesses happy to let their staff use mobile phones to train their workers on shift? We found through our testing that, yes, they were happy to go video first. They just needed to be shown how to create it in the most effective manner. And then were they happy to let their staff use mobile phones? Yes, they were, as long as they could track it and verify that they were learning on the job when they were on their phone. Yeah.
Because it's interesting. I mentioned to you the other day that we have clients, and I went to a client, one of our clients just opened, and as I walked in, the GM is literally falling asleep in front of a computer watching, I won't mention the name of the company, but watching a training platform, sort of like about to sort of tear off, eyes going. And then just got up and made himself a coffee. Video's still going along, and then came back and then was,
But you know what the worst bit about that story is? They will pass because it will say video done, and then whoever their line manager will see that training's been box ticked on the system, and people will move on. Yeah, and they haven't taken any of that knowledge. They completely missed it.
Yeah. So how do you combat that on yours?
Well, firstly,
to be fair, it's short form, right? So literally,
it's about reformatting.
Oh, so sorry.
That's the training company calling that. Libel.
I know
lawyers. So firstly, it's a reformat of thinking how you see training. Yeah. One of the big misconceptions we've got in the industry is a lot of businesses out there, training for them is their compliance courses, fire safety, food safety. Bits that are legally mandatory, that stop the EHO from knocking at the door, but don't actually add value to the business. Yeah. So we like to say that's probably 25% of the onboarding and training pie. The other parts, brand, what you stand for as a company, what you stand for as a culture, soft skills, how to talk to customers, how to sell, steps of service, practical skills, how to use your hospitality tech, how to make dishes in the kitchen, how to make drinks on bar. Yeah. All of that was being led by in-person handbooks, manuals, and experienced staff who left due to Brexit, which meant there was a shortage of managers who had this knowledge, who were being worked to the core, onboarding new employees all the time with this basic knowledge, only to find that they went and leave. And there's a high turnover rate. And that itself is costing a typical customer £25,000 every 90 days.
Every 90 days?
Every 90 days. By training and onboarding staff that then go off to leave.
Yeah. Wow.
Money wasted.
Yeah. But then I guess if you've got a better training platform, better retention. So are you seeing better? I mean, it's going now. So you're seeing better retention?
We are. So what Blend does is it automates the full onboarding and training experience. So how? We're mixing user-generated content created by our customers, personalized, bespoke to them.
Any outtakes?
Without outtakes, we want it to be fun. We want it to be authentic, because that's key as well. With a learning management system designed to make training much more engaging to a modern mobile worker. And hey, guess what? We anticipate saving you 50K per year simply by onboarding and training your staff through Blend.
Yeah. And then you were talking. Hold on, I need to digress to double check because we are nicely flowing into the questions without even asking. This is fantastic. It's like I've sent them to you before. Yeah, this is good. We're doing well. Okay, so quick favour here. I'm just taking a quick break on the podcast just to say I would really appreciate if you can click the like or subscribe button. That helps us grow. We're very new. And I would really appreciate it. And on with the show. Okay. So now, then we can, I guess, look at what mix and matching as well. So, because you can tick, if you're onboarding someone, once you're onboarding them, you tick the box, and I guess you're having templates for new staff, right? They go through the process. The GM or manager or operations will go through those templates of, sous chef, bar manager, whatever, and then they flow through the process.
First, as part of our onboarding, we help them pair that PDF, that textbook, that SOP into a map of micro-learning content. We help them do that.
All these keywords.
Through our technology. And we help them map it into a system so they can understand what are the learning pathways and what is the content that they need to create.
So do you end up having like chunky PDFs been sent to you that you then have to decipher, and your onboarding pieces, just give us what you've got and we'll make it work? And then obviously you can, I guess, create the schedule, but then the filming needs to be done by, is it only them doing the filming, or is it something that you might do for them?
Hey, this is the wonderful thing. Our customers are more than capable to create great training content.
I agree.
They just need to be shown how to do it and see the right references of the right styles that they need to create. How to create kitchen films. Plating films is very different from how you create soft skill films, which is very different from how you create tech tutorials.
Yeah.
So it's all about understanding what is the style that we're training, what is the script, who's going to lead it, and what needs to go in to do it, and
so
who
reading
owns it.
back to your experience, it's that template that needs to be
template based videos. Absolutely. The key thing here is it isn't just videos.
Yeah.
Video is a great way to engage a visual learner, but everyone has different learning styles. I'm dyslexic, so I am a visual learner.
Yeah.
There's also learners in the industry who are audio learners. Hey, it's very simple to export and also have audio learning files as well. Equally, quizzes to verify that knowledge as well. Visual learning through image carousels, text-based learning through PDFs.
Yeah.
It's all about having as much opportunity to optimize that learning experience as possible to increase the chances that they take in that knowledge.
It's so my wife used to be a teacher, and when she was teaching, everyone was engaged because there was differentiation in the classroom. My kids struggle at school. My youngest is ADHD. My eldest probably has it, but not diagnosed. There's obviously struggles, and I think nowadays in classroom environments, there's less differentiation in that. So I think what you're doing is even offering the opportunity for different. So my team, as you walked in the office, they're techies, right? So they're all kinesthetic learners.
Yes.
You show them how to do it once it's done in their brain. You give them a document of 10 pages, they'll take 3 weeks to look through it.
Great example. We're talking about the next generation here, Gen Z workers particularly. So obviously it has to be short form. Attention spans are much less. However, we saw examples with customers where they were QSR, having to make food on site, and they'll be shown how to do it practically and didn't take in the knowledge of how to do it.
Yeah.
But when the manager asked, do you get it? They didn't want confrontation, and they go, yeah, got it.
Yeah.
And they would go out and do it and then replicate the same mistakes. Even worse, they would then show other people how to do it and cascade those mistakes.
Yeah.
So what you want here is it's all about consistency. How do you have a unique knowledge reference where you can go to make sure am I doing it right?
Yeah.
And can I check I'm doing it to the right standards? So if you are someone who doesn't like confrontation, you can go discover and make sure you are doing it right without having to embarrass yourself by asking your manager.
Which is massive, because even in the beginnings of hospitality and general management, I mean, when I first started in tech, I did what I did and then I left. And so one of the things that we do, which is really important, is ask questions. Always ask questions. Even if you're pissing people off, we always say the first thing to do is ask the questions.
But if you're a time-stretched manager,
yeah,
you've got customers on this end, you've got fires to put out everywhere, you don't have time for too many questions.
Yeah.
So the idea here is the questions you want to be answering from your new employees are the really confidence-building ones, the exciting conversations, not the menial tasks, because that's just time wasted. So if we can take away the conversations from the menial side and focus on the career-building side, hey, the relationships are forming, and that's what this is all about.
I guess another piece of it is mental health and that side of it as well. So confidence building, understanding, communication. So we're doing some training at the moment here and from a US brand, and they've got a whole piece on how do you make a manager happier if he's unhappy. It's to do with an ethos. And they're all looking at me here going, why? I don't understand. And obviously we're tech, so it's a bit different. But yeah, you're right. I think that's a very interesting point.
The other trend is authenticity. So you're seeing learning out there through avatars, for example.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. I hate that.
So people like it because it's saving them time. It's creating content in a more effective way. However, the point here is, as a new employee, you want to see the eyeballs of a staff member that you actually know to take in that knowledge, because it's part of the relationship building.
So when is the CEO going to record his voice and video and then go to 11 labs and then you can just deploy it throughout the business?
Every CEO should have a personalized message for every new employee as soon as they start. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what we want to be doing at Blend. So
yeah. But you could theoretically do it with a bit of AI, couldn't you?
Easy. Yeah.
So that's another...
Part of the culture piece. If you join a company, you want to know, what is the company I stand for?
Yeah.
Who am I representing?
That's why I like... There's a really cool app, employee app. What's its name?
Blend?
No, it's a recruitment app. And it's all video recruitment. So you'd go out as a GM owner and you'd go on the app. I will put it in the show notes.
Giggle.
Yes. So
Giggle. Great brand. Great company.
Really clever. And
really clever.
the turn up rate is higher. The interview rate and acceptance rate is higher.
Giggle is great. And I met the founder a couple of weeks back, actually. What they're doing is they're showing the real authentic side to the business as part of the recruitment process. So then the prospective candidate can see the genuine experience. It's the same as the onboarding process when joining Blend. You want to show them a genuine, authentic experience, not send them a la la land. Otherwise, when they realize, hey, this isn't real, they'll leave.
Yeah. I think so. Do you know Jason Berkowitz, our up training?
Yeah.
So I'm going to segue slightly onto this. Sorry. What is it today? Today is Wednesday. So Wednesdays and Fridays, 6 p.m. If you can make it, digital hospitality on LinkedIn. There's a wad of people. It's run by, and it's really weird to say, Cali Barbecue Media. They have something called Digital Hospitality. It's an awesome group of people. It's every week. Technology leaders. Jonah will go on it at some point. Jason Berkowitz is on it, and he has Arrow Up training in the US. And he said a really good comment a little while ago. I think it was like making employees into leaders, or turning employees into leaders. I think that was it. I'll double check what it was, but it was a really good comment, because if you can do that with training, then they become a force for the company.
There's that famous line, I think Chris actually said this a while back, which is that old paradigm of a head of training speaking to a CFO saying, we need to spend this money on training. But then the CFO saying, but what if that person leaves?
Yeah.
But then they retort back, but what if that person stays?
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. It's around retention of that knowledge within that organization. And guess what? Yeah, you might leave, but if you can leave a better person than when you started, then fantastic.
But not only that, even if they do leave and they have your platform, they've already embedded their brain into the platform.
Their knowledge is on that platform.
Right. So the training manager can just, so we have a documentation platform on the IT side of the business. It's called IT Glue. It's awesome. Has everything in it. You could literally sit in my office today, answer calls and understand the flow process. It's not video training, but it has documentation. And I think that's a huge missing piece in specifically hospitality. And now with the new generation of staff, the retention is mental. I mean, like I spoke to a client the other day who's across the road from us. He said that he did an interview for a new GM. 50 people agreed to come. Out of the 50 that came, 10 only turned up. Out of the 10 that turned up, two were offered the job. The one that was offered the job, never turned up.
It's retention on twofold, because it's retention of your own staff as a hospitality business owner, but also to suppliers. So if you're a tech company and you're spending your precious resource onboarding a team of people on how to use your given product, and hey, they leave, you've got to do it all over again.
Yeah.
So it's a full cycle here.
It's a vicious circle, really.
Vicious circle.
Wow. It's
knowledge retention.
Yeah. I think we talked about as well, which I'd love to happen as well. We talked about training for tech platforms too. So when you start, you look at say if Chris is working with them, he's got the whole tech stack planned out, and they just tick the boxes for the tech that they're using, right?
The wonderful thing here is every tech provider has their go-to video expert, the person that presents their product in the best way possible. Yeah. Let's capture that knowledge. Yeah. Let's save it down. Let's make it replicable, and let's get it on platforms such as Blend. Yeah. So we can distribute it to all your customers.
Yeah, and then they get access to everything else. Little T in view.
Little penguin.
Yeah. So would you potentially say if you have an uptake on an EPOS company and say you've got 30 clients with it, rather than them doing it all, would you then approach them and say, okay, so this is what we're doing, this is what's needed?
The great thing is it's already happening. We've got a feature called the Global Bank.
Yeah.
This is where our customers can share and publish their knowledge, not just on their private channel, but with other customers.
Oh, nice.
So what's happening is customers who are using a certain piece of tech will then publish it to the Global Bank. And another customer who's also using that tech will then use their knowledge.
And is there an approval process with that one, right? So they'll post it, the owner, founder, whatever, of FD will be like, there's no comprising information.
You don't want to be posting confidential material that's private to your business. You want to be posting content that is great for your network of customers.
Okay. That's really cool. I can see
no secret recipes.
Yeah.
But universal skills. Hey, let's get it out there.
Yeah, but I'm talking about POS and pricing. So if someone's doing something on the till or wants to do a cash app or blah, 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 or the credit card machine's broken, which is,
You can pixelate stuff. You can share things in a confidential manner.
Yeah, I like that. Little TikTok logo over it. Smiley face.
Yeah, those dollar emojis.
Okay, amazing. Okay, so let's move on to the feedback, what you're getting so far. So Sushi Dog, I can mention that, right, because you've posted it already. So Sushi Dog, I have their wallet. My God, it's beeping in my face the whole time, which is great. So I'm enjoying my offers there. But Sushi Dog are they, what number customer are they for you?
So the way we're working is we've got a cohort of what we're calling our Blend V1 customers.
Nice.
They are our early paid customers that are not only using Blend, they're design partners to Blend.
Nice. Okay. So
they're
feedback.
Collaborating, they're giving us feedback, and it benefits us because we're still at an early stage where we just want to optimize, get better. But to do that, we need a community of customers that are going to shape the future of this product.
Nice.
So we've got this early cohort of customers, and the results so far have been incredible.
Yeah.
What we found is that it's not just Gen Z workers, kitchen workers, back of house. We've got some full service customers as well. They're loving it. They're very much not Gen Z, the millennial, but they're visual-based learners. And they are engaging in the creation of the content.
In hospitality, 70 to 80% are probably visual-based learners.
I don't want to give a number because I don't know the number, but I would say that neurodiverse workers index much higher in particularly the Deskless workforces, but in hospitality than any other profession.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So why are we giving people the old way of learning? Yeah.
Because you haven't been here. There hasn't been an option for it. It's been so the challenges you have is, I think that I'll touch in a minute, is if you're a group of 20 restaurants, you have training manager, you have opening manager, great, you have that whole plan. But if you're 2 restaurants, you don't have that ability. It's the owner, founder, or manager will go in and train them?
A number of our customers are owner-founder businesses. They've got sort of 3 to 5 sites.
Yeah.
And they're having that pain point where they want to replicate their model. They're getting investment. They're beginning to scale.
Yeah.
But it's too time-consuming for them to do. And that's where Blend comes in to help them scale that process.
Yeah.
And that's that magic moment where you can capture that knowledge, which has helped you get to your early success on a bigger scale.
So on the tech side for us, when we do similar, we build that we build the technical architecture of the site, so that gets given to builders, architects, and so on. So all on the same page of what needs to happen, and that's fantastic. I think that's a really big point in this industry, and especially in London, because more brands are expanding.
So we've got an example, a tangible example. We saved a customer £10,000 just through a new menu launch. How? Because we saved their regional and head chef time traveling to all the different venues to do the training when they could just do it through Blend.
Yeah.
The hours saved just by using Blend to cut out some of that essential travel time equated to £10,000.
And then you can add Q&As, right?
So you can add Q&As and you can verify the knowledge.
Yeah. Okay.
One of the weird things you see is in new menu launches, when a head chef is showing his team of chefs how to do something, everyone gets out their phone and they start recording it.
Yeah.
But the wonderful thing now is you can say, no, don't record it. It's all going to be on Blend.
Yeah.
So go check it out on Blend after.
So when are you going to do some live streaming? If you've got a bigger brand, like 30 sites, let's live stream it.
If you've got the brand, get them over and I'll help them live stream.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome. I'm going to move on to my next bit now. Okay, so let's talk about the future. So, I mean, so you've currently got the cohorts with you. They're currently giving you feedback. You're making micro changes, little changes here and there to make the platform better. When is it out? When is it ready? When is it ready now? Or
yeah, so Blend V1 is ready. It's out now.
Yeah.
We've got some exciting customers using that platform. Our next step, though, is Blend V1 isn't the final product. It's the first iteration of this exciting new platform that we're doing. For us, our mission is how can we save business owners time and money onboarding Deskless workers? And how can we empower the next generation of frontline workers to learn their own way? How we're going to do that is through exciting innovation with AI to help them create content more effectively, more efficiently, and how we can provide better feedback loops and auto co-pilot coaching to help them progress and own their own skills. This is where it gets really exciting.
And then integrations?
And then, of course, integrations. We're already integrated with a number of the HR platforms, which I won't mention now.
Okay.
Because it's all about being part of the best-in-class people tech stack.
Yeah.
So we want to sit there. We want to talk to...
I think I mentioned this last time. I was like, if you want to onboard on Blend, if you want to onboard on HR, boom, done, kick. And then it goes straight into those list of things that's needed.
The moment you're added to, for example, Harry, the moment you're added on the Harry payroll, you'll be onboarded onto Blend.
Amazing.
Directly. Equally, offboarding. The moment you're off the payroll, you're taken off Blend.
Amazing. That amount of time it takes for a hospitality brand to remove a user from 50 different platforms.
So that's a basic integration.
Yeah.
Where we're excited about is, hey, what about a collaboration with something like Grateful?
Yeah.
Where it's all around showing you can earn more tips and rewarding people for their tips because they've done more training. And if we can show that interlink between training and real-time rewards and economic empowerment for ultimately the hospitality worker, then we're really onto something exciting here.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was hearing in the US talking about similar, but just giving that like a voucher, like Amazon voucher, whatever it might be. But if they're using Grateful in the platform already, they're already set up. So to add a little thing in there, the more training you do, the more invested the employee is, because if they're doing more training, then we're invested into the business.
Right now, there's no direct data being tracked around the training you do into real bottom line effect for that business.
So are you going to, would you potentially even do stuff like with like HDM or mystery shoppers? Because you could really see that if you're looking at casual dining environment, someone does a whole lot of training.
There should be a direct correlation between the training that's done and the awards and the mystery service reports that you're getting.
Yeah.
Equally, it needs to be responsive. So if you get a rubbish score at a certain location, you need to have instant training that can be created that's sent to that location to solve that feedback.
That's nice.
Same with reviews.
Yeah.
So it's
so
about
are you going to look at talking the future, because my brain's going, I love these little things. You could potentially do, if there is integrations or webhooks, whatever they might be, if feedback score is if Google review is X, yeah, 3-star review, and the machine learning picks out the waiter X, Y, and Z, it will automatically add that to their training platform.
If you're getting bad feedback on a certain dish, the time that it takes to create the training to then go back to that location should be almost instant.
Yeah.
So the idea is real-time loops where you can train people on the feedback where they're going wrong.
So and right now is it web based, right? It's web app based, right? There's no mobile app, right?
Yeah, right now Blend is web based but mobile optimized for mobile.
So it's easy to convert into mobile if you need to.
Super simple.
So then potentially if a staff member has, because obviously staff have lots of apps anyway, but you could potentially have like if X dish or X waiter at site, and you could send them an email, I guess, anyway. Your training's been added to your platform. Please complete by X. Because
it already happens. Yeah, it already happens. So we can be super responsive. You can allocate your training based on employee, based on team, based on location. So if you see a particular location is failing in a certain number of aspects, hey, refresh, resend them that training for them to do.
So talking about automation, is the plan eventually for it just to be like it does it?
Fully automated. We want real-time talk between feedback, customer experience, and the training input that goes in.
Nice. That's awesome. Because I know with Harry, with Trail, you can create tasks on webhook. So if X comes in, for example, if negative feedback comes in, you can send. I think they use Zapier. You can via Zapier, you can plug in and do X. So that would open up a lot of features, I guess.
Absolutely. This is where AI becomes really exciting. There's multiple aspects. It's in the content creation side. How can we help the customer create better content faster? The guiding side, how can we guide the user on how their skills are going to help their career progress?
Yeah.
And then in the feedback side, how are we creating these loops to help respond to feedback and be responsive?
I guess another thing as well is how you're dealing with negative feedback on site. Like, for example, you could literally have someone.
If you're a customer and you leave a rubbish review, wouldn't it be wonderful to know that that's been actioned? It's not only been listened to, the training has been made and the training has been sent.
So there's aggregators, right? So there's sentiment search, there's feed it back, certain members have their own, there's a few others out there. Would you, I guess it's all dependent on customer, right? So if a customer with 30 venues, blah, 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 comes to you and says, we use this training platform, will you plug in? To your feedback platform, can we plug it into yours? That's a no-brainer, right?
It's a no-brainer. We want to collaborate with anyone and anyone that can give us that data, because ultimately we want a better onboarding and learning experience for everyone in the ecosystem.
So the words API come to mind.
Oh yes, footage of someone eating a penguin over that whole.
I've no idea how long that's been off because I didn't even hear it. That's so upsetting. Episode 6, more challenges, but the good news is that we have something called a roadcaster, so the audio's always been recorded, and my shitty hardware, it's not shitty, it's quite good.
It's a great camera.
It is a good camera. Okay.
I love it, this podcast. I think you're doing an amazing job. Guys, you need to check out Captive Conversations by Adam Foreman. It's an incredible podcast. He's got amazing guests, and it's one to look out for because it's really something to listen to.
There we go. See, thank you, everyone. I'm not editing this. It's going to be even more hilarious.
Fantastic.
Okay, so before I got completely distracted and the camera turned off, it happened last time as well.
But you didn't learn?
No, but I saw it go off last time. Anyway, it's plugged. Look, you can see the cable is plugged into the power. It's recording.
Captivating conversation.
It's definitely captive and conversations. Okay, so API. Connecting into other platforms.
It's gone from a nice to have to an absolute essential.
Okay.
You've got to be talking to other platforms and you've got to have an API. It's now a no-brainer.
So that's going to be a potential, or it's coming soon?
It's coming soon, yeah.
Okay, amazing. That's exciting. So then people can just plug in if they need to. Because the challenge is when you go to a partner and say, we want to do this, they'll say, here's my API. But realistically, they're going to get pushback. They're going to go to their other provider and say, we're using Blend. Plug in.
The great thing is there's only so many HR platforms, there's so many ATS platforms that once you've got those integrations sorted, you're already ready for them.
Yeah. I'm talking like feedback and other things.
Oh, yeah, that's where it gets exciting.
It's, like Pretty from Sentiment Search's platform's awesome. He's building integrations like a drop of a hat.
You'll have to do an introduction to me.
I will. Pretty, Jonah.
Hey.
Yeah, I'll do that afterwards. Okay, so we're coming to the end, which is good. I think we got to about 50 minutes, I think, without any technology challenges. Okay, final questions. We normally do this at the front, but I want to do it at the end. So it's just 3 simple questions, and then the 2 questions that you're going to give me for the next person. So, best burger.
I love this question because of the timing. So the last 5 years I've been vegetarian. And very recently I have dropped it and I'm a carnivore again. So I'm new into the world.
So being in tech made you a carnivore?
Oh yeah, I'm new into the world of red meat. So I was actually going to counter that question with a question which is, tell me, I've been 5 years off the hamburger. Where do I need to go? Let's order one right now and I'll eat it on your podcast.
Unfortunately, delivery always gets the address wrong, so it would probably end up next door. For me, okay, so this is difficult. Okay, so Bleecker number 1.
Yep.
Go out this room, go to Warren Street Tube Station, go out of Victoria, and Bleecker, great burger.
Great burgers.
Commitment to the burger. Zan and Liam are awesome. Then it moves on to a few different places to try. So Burger and Beyond, also awesome. Black Bear Burger, also awesome.
Honest Burger?
I like Honest Burger, but it's not... Because it's so many of them, right?
Yep.
Their smash burger's really nice, but you won't have a comparison to the others.
How many burgers should one eat a month? That's my question. No, it's not my question.
I think it's all in moderation.
Good answer.
So, if it was up to my team in the office, every day.
Every day.
Every day, if they could. So, okay, so I recommend you try a selection.
Will do.
I think any others that I can think of for you to try. Truffle burger.
Truffle burger.
Really good.
Nice.
In Soho. They've got a new one in South Bank.
Can't wait.
On a pop-up. So
I'm going to
try
try
that one too.
so
I will put
weight.
it in the show notes and I will send you a list. And I want photos.
Yeah, it'll be like that. What, Super Size Me?
Yeah, literally.
Before
I want
and
the
after
triple.
podcast. How many burgers did he eat?
Okay, best restaurant.
Shout out to Hoppers. I went there recently and had a fantastic meal. Great experience all around.
That whole group is awesome.
It's an amazing group, the JKS group. My local, though, VJ's in Kilburn. What an Indian restaurant that is. That's always a great experience.
Nice. So then, only recently you've been meaty.
Yes.
So is it vegan? Was it vegetarian?
No, it was pesky.
Okay.
But only liking prawns from the pesky side. So it's basically veggie plus prawns.
So you were flexitarian?
No meat.
Oh, so no meat at all. Okay,
Yeah.
so like pescatarian, but just the prawns.
Like flexitarian without the meat, without the fish, but with the prawns.
Okay.
Pesky.
Prawns are healthy, I
Prawns
guess.
are healthy.
Okay, and best hotel?
It's got to be the Pig in Bath.
Okay.
It's where I proposed to my wife. So
how did you propose? Come on.
how did I propose? Do you know what they did, which nearly screwed me over? Is when I got there, they said, "Oh my God, it's you, it's Jonah, and you must be Jenna." And she's looking at me like, "Why the hell do they know my name?" Because I called them before to let them know I was going to do this. And then the worst bit they did is on the bed they left a note saying, "Congratulations." So I got into the room and I said, "Oh, they left us a note. They'd upgraded us as well."
Yeah.
And Jen said, "Oh, what does the note say?" And I read it quickly, threw it away. I said, "Oh no, this must be for the last person."
So thank you. It's a thank you.
Thank you. But other than that, they helped me. Did it in the greenhouse in there.
Okay, so they screwed you, but not badly.
No, they were joshing on me.
Yeah.
Keep me on my toes.
And how did it? Come on, keep going into the greenhouse.
Right, here we go. So she then went for her massage.
Yes.
Which gave me approximately 45 minutes to set up the greenhouse in the garden with help with one of their lovely staff members. Set up the camera, like this set up here.
Nice.
Secret behind one of the things.
Yeah.
Champagne, flowers, the whole works. And then went back, got changed, and said, "Hey, we're going to dinner." And then en route to the restaurant, I said, "Hey, why not step inside the greenhouse?"
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh.
The Pig, Bath.
The Pig in Bath.
Pig in Bath.
And you stayed there. It was a hotel. Great hotel. And then how long did you stay there for the weekend, or just
for the weekend? Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, so. Oh, that's lovely. And obviously, congratulations for that one. Kitty,
but a fantastic hotel group as well. So
I didn't know they were a group. Interesting.
They've opened a pub recently as well. So
okay.
Yeah.
Boutique hotel.
Boutique hotels. Yeah.
I love boutique hotels.
About 5, 6 of them. Great group.
I like little boutique hotels because there's always something a bit special that happens. Kitty last week said that when she actually on the weekend got engaged.
Congratulations.
And
Are you allowed to say this now?
No. So the story, basically, her partner proposed to her earlier, and she got her back. So they went to a winery, awesome place. If you listen to the other podcast, you'll know about it. Anyway, she said
this has gone from hospitality tech to a gossip about
it's all about gossip.
Engagement.
There's more coming. But anyway, she said that some people are destined to work in hospitality because they love the staff, loved working there. And
I couldn't agree more.
It's
For me, it was I called them up to say, hey, guess what? I'm coming on the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going to propose.
Yeah.
And it was them that suggested where it should be and how I should do it. And that's the trait. You've got people in a business who understand it's an experience and they want to make that experience as memorable as possible.
I think boutique hotels do that really well generally. I went to the Broadbrook Hotel a little while ago and go on.
Can you get engaged at a non-boutique hotel?
You could, but I don't think you'd have the same like Premier Inn and or like even a Hilton. I don't think you'd have the same experience. If you're speaking to the manager, they'd go, "Oh, okay, well done." Unless it's like a really nice, Park Lane, whatever it is. But I think if it's a general group and you call them and tell them, I don't know. For me, in my experience, going to general groups versus small, like as I was mentioning, the one in Broadbrook Hotel in Soho, I went there for a meeting. I know the IT guy, I know the marketing guy. I went there just once. The two guys on the door, lovely, like said hello. I said hello to them and I left. Came back 3 weeks later. Oh, hi, Adam. Welcome back. How the hell do you know? I mean, I know I'm a guy with like bald and a beard, but I mean, I didn't. They just welcomed me back.
How did you propose?
I'll tell you afterwards. That's another awesome story.
Okay.
You can't beat my proposal story.
Okay.
I'll do a separate podcast.
Premier Inn?
It wasn't at a Premier Inn. It's actually a lot better than a Premier Inn. So I'll tell you afterwards. Okay. So 2 questions for the next guest.
Right.
Because we're near the end.
Cool.
And this podcast is hitting, which is really good, the hour mark because there'll be some edits. So 2 questions for the next guest. Go.
So to the next guest, whoever that may be, what is the most essential skill that you feel needs better training in the hospitality industry and why?
Mm-hmm. And number 2?
Number 2, if an actor was to play you in a biopic, who would it be and why?
That's awesome. Really good. I like that. 1 training, a blend, 1... Okay,
yours would be Vin Diesel.
No, I try... Yeah, that's a difficult question. Definitely not Vin Diesel. He's a bit old now. I mean, I'm old, but he's a bit older now.
He's hench.
Yeah, I know I'm broad, but come on. I mean, maybe Vinnie Jones. He beats the crap out of people. So, okay. So, episode 6. I just want to say, and I have to press the button 1 second. Where is it? I have to give Jonah a... Thank you very much, Jonah. Jonah from Blend. We are blend.ai. And I will put more information in the show notes. So everyone does this. How do people find you? How do people give the website again? But when's the next rolling of people, or is it open already for Blend?
So yeah, hey, I'm Jonah, co-founder of Blend.
Look at the camera and do it, because then I'll give you the clip.
Amazing. Hey, it's Jonah here from Blend.
No, cut. Start again. Mic in face.
So everyone, it's Jonah here from Blend, where TikTok meets workplace training for frontline and deskless workers. I'm here with Adam from Captive Conversations, and we're talking about how we're going to revolutionise workplace training for deskless workers. And how do you find out more? You go on www.weareblend.ai or follow us on LinkedIn and TikTok.
That's what you get. Woo, that's good. You're a professional. It's all good. Okay, say goodbye. Wave
ciao,
goodbye.
ciao.
Thank you very much, everyone.